Guys, so I wanted to do a video all about my breast reduction. So today I actually had my 1 week post-op check-in and got everything checked out and everything. So I feel like this was a good point to start the video. I had previously tried to do some recordings, like I had a little bit of, hello, sorry, my cat's here. I had some footage before I actually had the surgery, and I also had a little bit of footage that I recorded 2 days after, but I wasn't happy with how I was kind of explaining stuff. I wasn't being very straight to the point kind of thing. I was rambling a lot. So I figured I would try again. So I'm going to start from the beginning. So I'm going to give you all my stats that I had before the surgery and, kind of go from there. So I am currently 19. So today is let me check my phone. Today is October 16th. I will be turning 20 on November 8th. So I had my surgery on October 9th. So almost exactly a week before I turned 20. So I'm 19. Before I had surgery, I weighed 164 pounds. I am, okay, I'm going to be very specific. I'm 5'5" and 3/4, so basically 5'6", but I feel like I'm lying when I say I'm 5'6", because I'm not exactly 5'6". Anyway, I'm basically 5'6", and the way that my body is proportioned, I have a shorter torso and longer limbs, sorry. So the last bra that I owned before having, the reduction, it was a sports style bra because that was the only one that I could find that didn't have an underwire, and that was my size before. Because I don't have any fat directly on my crease, like where the wire would have sat. So it would sit directly in my ribs, so I can't wear underwire bras. Anyway, so the bra that I wore before I had the surgery was a 36H. So a 36 band and an H cup. Technically, I can fit, true size is a 34 double G, but I went for the sister size up because I felt more comfortable just because of the style of the bra, because it was a sports bra, it was a little more constricting. So 36H. Now, I feel like, I think I'm like a large B, like a kind of small to mid-size C. So quite a significant change in the size of my chest. So, those are the stats on my body. Okay, so I think I will just go over how I got the process started. So, I wanted to get a breast reduction for probably about a year. Everything that I had done moved very quickly. Just purely because I was lucky enough and I got cancellations regarding everything. So, I talked to my family doctor with my mom, because my mom is the person that comes with me to everything. And I said, hey, I would like to get a breast reduction because I'm quite heavy. I'm very insecure about my body. I'm getting a lot of back pain and, such and such. I talked to my family doctor, and she sent in a referral to the same doctor that my mom had actually gone to about 18 years ago for her breast reduction. He was still practicing in our area. So she sent a referral to that doctor, and it had been months, and it was just kind of oh yeah, it might be 6 months to a year before you get even a consultation. So 6 months to a year to get a consultation with that specific doctor, which is fair. That's kind of the usual thing. I kind of figured that would be the time frame. So, we're some time goes by, we're kind of waiting around. And a family friend of ours, who is actually my best friend's mom, she went to a doctor about getting a breast augmentation, because that's what she was looking to get. And she had told us, oh, he was very nice, he was very professional, and he was just, in Fredericton kind of thing, which is just this city, because I live in the town, and anyway, that's not important. So we were just maybe we should see if we can get in to see this doctor. So we talked to our family doctor again, and we're just hey, can we get a referral to see this doctor? And she said, same thing, it's probably going to be 6 months to a year with the consultation. So we got put onto the cancellation list for consultations. We ended up getting in, I can't remember what the exact date was. I'm sorry, I don't have any dates except for the day of my surgery. I can't remember any of the dates, but it was very quick. So we got a cancellation for a consultation, and we went in and everything was very good. This was the first consultation I had ever had, or the first time anybody had ever seen my chest. So it was very professional. It was the first time I had anybody examine my chest before, which was a little awkward for me, especially because I have previous, like, issues with things. Anyway, and I'm also just insecure. So that went very well, and I got put onto a cancellation list for surgery. So some time goes by, I think probably like a few months, at minimum 3 months, I think. I really can't remember. It was probably longer than that. It was probably closer to like 5 months or something. I can't remember. I'm very sorry. So, cut to my last video. I had that little clip of me, you know, giving the update in my car and saying that my mom had scared the shit out of me. And I thought somebody had died or something. And she was just like, oh no, you just got your appointment for surgery. So, I had my surgery on October 9th, which was exactly a week ago from when I'm filming this. So, I'm exactly 1 week post-op. So, day of surgery. So, I had to be at the hospital in the city at 6:30 in the morning, which is great because I am not a morning person. So I wake up at 4:30 just because so I should mention, I had to shower the day before and the morning of. So I had showered the day before, that night before, so Thursday night, and I woke up at 4:30 and I had another shower that morning. So I did that and got dressed, got all the stuff I needed, some like extra clothes, well, not extra clothes, but just a bag to put my clothes in for when I get changed, my health card and all that kind of stuff. So my mom has her coffee and we're all dressed and we get in the car and we go to the hospital. So because of COVID restrictions and things, I obviously had to wear a mask, and my mom wasn't allowed to come in with me, which is not great for me because I have really bad anxiety and I take medication for my anxiety and depression and things like that. And so I have to walk into a hospital that I've never been into by myself for a first ever major surgery. So we get there, I probably get inside at like 6:20ish kind of thing. And you know, I go to the front office, I sit in the waiting room, and then I get my like card, my health card and everything kind of like set up and checked and you know, that kind of stuff. So I get into the room, and obviously there's a gown and like blankets and stuff already on the bed for me to get changed into. So they also give me a cup because I have to pee in the cup for a pregnancy test. Even though, little TMI for anybody who doesn't like blood, I was on my period, which, you know, not fun when you're having surgery and you have to deal with your period and stuff. Anyway, so I had to do the pregnancy test even though I was literally having my period that day kind of thing. Like, it had started on the Wednesday and it was Friday. And so I do that, and I am really nervous because I have really high anxiety and I'm kind of like on the verge of a panic attack the whole time. So I pee in the cup, which is fun, obviously. And then a nurse comes in and he tells me to get into the gown and everything, so I do that. And I was given 2 gowns, so like one to put on like the where it ties up in the back and one to put on like a coat kind of thing. So I do that. I'm all snuggled in my in my gowns. And so he takes me over to get my height checked and my weight and stuff. He marked me down as 5'5", which I thought was interesting, but I was probably slouching because of like the extra weight and stuff. So I do that, and then I'm kind of waiting around for a while. Oh, he also took my sample, my cup. So after I get weighed and measured and stuff, I think the other nurse comes in, and she was the one that I saw the most often out of all the people that were in that area. And she was telling me like, oh, you're gonna see the anesthesiologist and stuff, and like other people are gonna come in and, you know, see you. So I think the next person that came in, besides that nurse who kept kind of like checking on me, was the I can't remember if it was her or if it was somebody else. I think it might have just been her who came in and like checked my medication and stuff. Like I take a thyroid medication because I have an underactive thyroid, and I take antidepressants, and I take iron because I have low iron, and birth control. So that's basically it. And she just kind of like, I had all of my pills with me so she could see what the actual like names of them were, because I can't pronounce any of them because they're complicated and I have dyslexia. So that's fun. So that was the next person that came in. And after that, I think the next person that came in was actually the surgeon. And he came in and he did all the markings on my chest. And I took photos, and I'm not sure if I'm going to insert the photos here or not. If I do, I'm going to move over and have a space right here for my editing self to put in if I decide to put them in. So he does the markings. I have to stand like this, like with my hands are on my hips. And I have to stand like this, and he does like all the markings and stuff. And then he also gets me to lay on my back, and he does more markings, and he freaking yanks one boob over this way and yanks it back the other way, and same thing. And then I have to stand up again, and I have to do sideways so he can do markings here and stuff. Anyway, it was very ticklish. Like, especially the side ones. So he did that. He really didn't say much to me. He was just kind of like, oh, I'm just here to do markings, and then did the markings and kind of left. He's not very personable, but he's very, like, straight to the point, professional kind of thing. So after that, I think the next person that came in was the anesthesiologist. He was very nice. I really liked him. So he came in and he was just like, oh yeah, we're just going to do this, this, and this kind of thing, kind of explaining the process and stuff like that. And I had told him, like, I had been put under for a previous medical thing. I had an abscess around my tailbone area that's reoccurring that I've had to have drained a few times, and I've had to be put to sleep for because they really have to get the scar tissue and stuff out if they can. So the last time I got put under, the sedative that they gave me, it felt really burning in my arm. So I let him know that, and he was just like, oh yeah, that's kind of common. It doesn't mean you're allergic or anything, so that was good to know. Yes, hello, come here. She wants to say hi. Hi. Oh, look how pretty. Hi. And up. Here you go. Okay. So he was just kind of explaining the process to me, and I started to get kind of worked up because I knew this was kind of like the last person that I was going to see before I went into surgery, and that was really nerve-wracking. So I started to kind of get worked up, and my eyes started watering. He was just like, I can tell that you're really anxious. We can give you something for like your, like, a fast-acting anti-anxiety kind of thing if you want. I was just like, yes, please. Anyway, so the next person who came in after that, I think it was the same nurse that I had been seeing before. Anyway, someone came in, and they brought the anti-anxiety thing. They said it would take like 5 to 10 minutes to kick in, but I had to have it underneath my tongue. I couldn't take it with water. So I took that. It didn't end up working. So the next person who came in, I don't know who she was. I think she was just a person who's assisting with the surgery. She came in and she was just like, hey, like, we're gonna take you down to the OR kind of thing. And I was just kind of like, okay. Because it just really hadn't kicked in, the anti-anxiety med, and it just really didn't work. So I get up and we walk down to, I think she actually had me carry the pillow that was on the bed with me, because like I had 2 pillows. I had one under my knees and one at my head on the bed in the surgical room. So she takes me down and I'm carrying the pillow and I have the little foot covers over my socks, and she's walking me down the hall and she's just like, you're gonna be okay, like, don't worry, we're gonna take care of you. And so I get into the surgical room, and there's one other person and the anesthesiologist there, and he starts talking to me because, you know, he's just nice. And he's just like, oh, this is so-and-so. She's just going to be assisting with the surgery and everything. And I was just kind of like, okay. So then someone takes the pillow from me. Obviously, I'm wearing a mask the whole time at this point. And someone takes the pillow from me, and sets it down on the bed, and they're just like, okay, we're gonna get you to lay down on the bed. So they get me to take off the kind of jacket gown off my shoulders, and they take that, they do whatever with it, and I'm just kind of like, okay. So I lay down on the bed and I get comfortable. So they're just like, hey, you're gonna be okay, like, just calm down, like, I'm breathing really hard, kind of like, you know, because I'm anxious and nervous and stuff like that. And they're just kind of like, the anesthesiologist is just kind of like, okay, you have to calm down your breathing, like, you have to take some deep breaths for me and stuff like that. So I'm doing that, and then they take my mask off so they can put the oxygen mask on me, and he starts someone puts the IV in my hand, and you can kind of see the spot there where it was. Anyway, so that gets put into my hand. I really didn't even notice that, and I hate needles, so, which, ironic. I usually hate needles, but I really didn't even notice this one, so I guess they're good at what they do. And then they're just kind of like, okay, we're gonna put you to sleep now, kind of thing, and then the next thing I remember is waking up in recovery. So, moving on to recovery. So I wake up in recovery, and I'm just kind of like, really out of it, obviously. And I just hear people just like, oh, look at her raccoon tattoo. Look at the quote on her arm. Like, look at the... People are just talking about my tattoos, and I just wake up to people pointing that out, and I was just kind of like, what the fuck is happening? So I wake up, and they're just kind of like, hey, how are you feeling? Are you okay? Everything went really well. And I was just like, yeah, I'm okay. And they ask if I want some water, and at that time I think at that point I didn't want water quite yet, because I wasn't, like, sitting up enough, because I was, like, mostly laying down, so I didn't feel comfortable drinking any water. I wanted to, though, because my throat was very sore from having, I guess, a breathing tube in my throat during the surgery. So people are just kind of talking to me, and they're just like, oh yeah, we were looking at your tattoos and stuff, and, like, I was kind of half aware, trying to explain, like, some of the tattoos, because I have a raccoon on my arm here. Oh, there we go. And I got that tattoo with my mom. That's my first tattoo. Anyway. And I'm trying to, like, half awake, like, explain what some of them are, and, like, what they mean, and, like, all that kind of shit. And, after a while, I'm kind of more aware, and I start to sit up a little bit, so I'm, like, a little more, like, upright. And at that point, they offer me water and, like, ice chips again, and I'm just like, yeah, I think I'll take some, because my mouth was so dry. It was just kind of like cotton mouth. It was just like, it was really gross. I hated it. But the water was very helpful. So they gave me a little paper cup, and they actually had a straw in it too, I think, which was nice. So I didn't have to, like, do that and, like, spill all over me. So they do that, and at this point I'm a little bit more awake, so I'm actually, like, having conversation with people. So I think I drink, like, probably, like, 1 or 2 cups of water and, like, a little cup of ice and stuff like that. And at one point I was just like, hey, did anybody call my mom? And they were just like, no, we haven't yet. Do you want us to? And I was just like, yeah, that'd be nice. So they call my mom and let her know, and apparently my mom was, like, freaking out and just being like, oh my god, where is she? Is she okay? So after a while, they decide that I'm awake enough to move me to a separate room on my own, because I was in the recovery, and it's kind of like an open kind of room, and there was a couple other people, obviously distance, for, like, good reason. So I get moved into my own room, and after a while they take the IV out of my hand, and they end up taking my blood pressure and stuff like that, and, like, checking my heart rate and stuff. And they're just kind of like, this was, like, another nurse at that point. They're just like, oh, okay, you're doing okay. Do you want, we'll get your clothes and, like, all your items and stuff, and you can start getting dressed. And I was just like, oh, okay. So I'm in the room by myself a little bit. I took a picture of myself in that little room, and I might put it here if I'm able to. So they bring my clothes and stuff in, and I think I can't remember what I was doing. I think I was, like, messaging my friend on my phone. I had been texting my mom the whole time before surgery on my phone, just kind of letting her know, like, the steps of like what was going on. And I can't remember if I texted her or if I texted my friend or not while I was in that room. I don't remember. I know I went on my phone, but I don't remember if I actually texted anyone. Anyway, I actually get dressed on my own. I think there was somebody there, but I don't think I needed any help. Like, I was pretty mobile. Like, I couldn't raise my arms, like, high. Like, at this point, this is as high as I can, like, raise my arms comfortably. But, I was just kind of, like, stuck like this. But I had a button-up shirt, like an oversized button-up shirt that I got specifically for surgery, and just some sweatpants. So it was easy to get on and off myself. And then after a while, they say like, oh, okay, we're gonna bring you a wheelchair so we can wheel you out. Your mom's here to pick you up. And I was just kind of like, oh, okay. So an older gentleman came with a wheelchair and he wheeled me out. And as I was getting wheeled out, a few people were just like, oh, I really like your hair. And everybody was just really nice. I don't know if this was another nurse or if it was a patient. I think it was a patient who complimented my hair as I was getting wheeled out, which is nice. Anyway, so I get wheeled out and I get to the car and my best friend is sitting in the back of the car with a bouquet of roses, because roses are my favorite flower, which was really sweet. I was just kind of, I didn't see her in the back seat because the windows are dark on the car, and so I didn't notice that she was there. So my friend Meg was just kind of like, hey, from the back seat, and I was just like, oh, hi, you're here. Anyway, so the gentleman helps me into the car and, like, brings my stuff, into the car for me and stuff like that. So I get brought home and I was very tired. So the first thing that I did when I got home is I slept. And I have to sleep kind of like sitting upright for a few weeks. So I obviously did that. And I haven't had any issues sleeping. The only issue is that, like, my lower back hurts from sitting up while sleeping, and I really want to sleep on my side, but I can't because I'm a big side sleeper. But obviously I can't do that right now. So I took a nap, and then I was just kind of like, I'm really not hungry. Like, I hadn't eaten all day, but I just really wasn't hungry. And I can't remember if I had a snack or not. I think I tried to eat, like, a Nutri-Grain bar, but my mouth was still, like, really dry, so it just, like, felt even drier in my mouth, which was gross. So yeah, that was the day of my surgery. Once I was home, obviously we had prepared beforehand to, like, be like, oh yeah, my mom will help me reach things and, like, do stuff for me that I can't do right now. But I was, like, able to walk around and stuff, and I was hunched over. I was like this for, like, the first, like, couple days. And it was like it was the second day out. So not Saturday, but Sunday was the worst day for me because I was really, really hunched over and I could feel, like, stuff. Like, I was just kind of like, okay, I really can't move. I have to shuffle if I have to walk anywhere. And, you know, it's just pretty difficult. But after that, it's been pretty easy. Like, I can walk around fine. I can reach stuff if it's not too high. I have a lamp that's on top of, like, a bookcase in my room, and I have to get my mom to turn that on and off for me because it's up too high. Besides that, it's been pretty normal for how I am, you know, doing things. I'm using my dad's armchair that's in the corner of the living room to sit in because it's like a not automated, but like an electric chair, so it has, like, a remote on the side for, like, the footrest and stuff and to, like, lay back, which is a lot more comfortable for me than sitting, like, upright on the couch kind of thing. Yeah, so I haven't been able to shower because, you know, I had surgery and so I'm kind of stinky, but I luckily got to see my mom's hairstylist, and she washed my hair for me. And just to preface, my area, COVID-wise, is very, very low. Like, there's no cases in my immediate area. The closest area is, like, the next town over kind of thing with cases. So, but we obviously wore masks and we sanitized and everything. And we're being very careful, but my hair was very gross. And my mom didn't feel safe washing my hair for me because I can't like lean over a sink or like lean back into something, and we don't have a shower that I could like sit into like with a tub kind of thing. So that's the only thing that I've had to get help from like someone outside of my mom to get help with. But besides that, the checkup today was really good. He's very like quick and just kind of like, okay, so I looked at this, you're fine with this, and you're good, basically. So I have to wait another week before I can shower. But I don't know if you can hear that. My cat. My cat is breathing really loud. So I have to wear this bandage. So hold on, So I have this white bandage underneath the medical bra that, you know, clips up in the front. So I have to wear this. It's like a full like sheet of like bandage going across my chest. So I have to wear that for another week, and I have to wear the bra for another like 2 weeks, I think, and then I can change it. But it's pretty uncomfortable. Like the straps are kind of itchy, like just because of like the fabric and like the way it's stitched. It's pretty uncomfortable. Sorry, I'm just still trying to figure out the light. It keeps changing. And obviously, oh, okay. Sorry. So I obviously have like sticky spots. That's from the original tape that they put on me. Is very like gooey. I don't have any tape on me now holding. It's just the bra holding that in place. But the side here, I'll do it this way. But like right here, this part of the bra, this part right here gets very like irritated on my skin. So my mom has to put like tissue along the edge of it so it's not as itchy. But everything's getting itchy stitches wise because it's healing, and there's tape over the stitches. I did take pictures of my chest today with the checkup, so if I feel comfortable I will put a picture here with stuff blurred for or covered how I need it to be. Yeah, that's basically it for a breast reduction story and update kind of thing. So I'm doing good. I'm a lot happier with how my body looks, because before I felt very top heavy. Like I felt like my shoulders were really big, and I felt like my chest just hid all of my shapes. But now that I've had the surgery, it kind of looks like I have a pear-shaped body, which I didn't think I had, and I really, really like pear-shaped bodies. I do still have hip dips. I have like pretty, like, apparent hip dips, but just with pants on, like a loose pair of pants, it looks like I have a pretty good pear shape, which is fun, and my shoulders look a lot smaller to me now. So I don't know if it was some form of like body dysmorphia that was making me think that my shoulders were like huge, like big square shoulders, like very like masculine. Well, like quote unquote masculine. But I'm also really excited to wear certain clothes that make me look more gender ambiguous kind of thing, because before, no matter what I wore, it was just kind of like, oh, you have boobs, so you're female. And it was just kind of like, well, not necessarily, because I'm non-binary. And before I got the surgery, I actually was almost buying a binder because I wanted to have like a smaller chest and be able to look more androgynous and stuff. But now I feel like I have the option to do that. Sorry, I'm just touching my chest a lot. Oh, I should mention, I have feeling in one of my nipples now, which is interesting. So my left one, which is interesting because my left side of my chest was actually bigger before, but this one I have feeling in, but this one I have absolutely no feeling in, yet, at least. It doesn't really matter to me, though, if I have feeling or not, because, like, they're just nipples, like, who cares? But, yeah, I'm really happy with the outcome of everything. So, yeah. Anyway, I think I'm gonna close off the video here. I've been recording for a while and I've had a lot of interruptions. Oh, I should mention, when I was getting ready for the surgery, I obviously had piercing retainer for my daith piercing, and I didn't have these in. These are just like labrets that I have as earrings. I had a piercing retainer in this, and they also got me to put a piece of tape over the area, even though I had a retainer in, just to make sure, like, basically in case anything like splattered, it wouldn't cause an infection on my piercing. So, yeah. I'm gonna close the video here, officially. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you want to. It doesn't really matter if you do. And, I have an Instagram. It's linked down below, but I'm also gonna have it, like, shown on the exit card at the end of the video kind of thing. Like, subscribe, comment, do whatever if you want to. It doesn't really matter. So, yeah, that's kind of it about my breast reduction surgery at 19. So, yeah, so, bye.